Me on? Let's do this. Okay. It's been a long time since I've come on. I thought that I should comment on something that's been going through society and whatnot. And as much as I love the news, I think it's mostly stupid because it's just more shit, different day of the week. It's all that it is, to a point blank. But there's the age old subject of men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and just all of the pains and struggles per se within relationships. And I really do think that there are sides pitting people one against the other. And if anyone watches the whatever podcast, I know they're pulling some of the most ignorant from society on purpose. And then by proxy, they do get one or two smart people just to show that they're not just scraping the bottom of the barrel on purpose. Like they're not always digging up hookers and whatnot. But there is per se a learning curve, especially with women. We're just not raising the same people like we were a long time ago. There's so like the divorce system supports women more than men, which is awful. It really is more permanently destroying families. It is paying women to almost like prefer divorce because that way she can control more of her life, control more of his money, blah, 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 blah. And there's just so many untrue things or women are sold a bill of goods. They're more gullible. I have 5 sisters. I can validate. Women are more gullible because I'm one of the people that can make them believe things that they shouldn't. But I'm not saying necessarily. I mean, we can fix this, but it's like we're ignorant of each other more than we've ever been before. Like I know some magazines they always make the joke of how to know your man better, or guys don't understand women, and keeping this controversy going is somehow useful, helpful, or in my opinion, it's only good if you're trying to get a headline. Men will always want to chase after women, but at the same time, you have all those guys that are going overseas to find wives and girlfriends and whatnot because they're so sick and tired of feminism, which really was an outcropping or originated from a version of communism. Do your homework so you know that I'm not lying. It is. It's where you insert more government than individuals to raise and run something. Like, how much more government is in a person's life after they divorce their husband and they got 3 kids? This is beyond having daily public education. This is the court system literally telling y'all how you now have to live. And that is a version of communism where the government tells you how to live. It's not pretty. But as I was thinking about things, like there are patterns that people can follow to know whether or not somebody's with you. Because they say, oh, men get blindsided all the time. It's like, what? Should they have been blindsided? It's not like history wasn't available. History is very available to show you how not to be in the future or what to look for. Or I want to feel sorry for all these men because I have met several people where the divorce hit the guy out of left field. He did not see it coming. He thought he was loving. She gave off signs that it was good enough. Like, it may not have been heaven, but they weren't hurting. The kids seemed happy, healthy, and then bam. Y'all, I don't know what religion any of you are, but in the Bible, there's something called Samson and Delilah. a very beautiful woman was used to mislead a strong, healthy man. And in the end, he ended up killing her and everybody in the temple when he ripped the pillars out of the walls because Samson was given superhuman strength. That story's still around. It's not like you weren't told ahead of time that bad stuff can happen. Just because you're big and strong doesn't mean they can't send that thought over there, over to you to literally bring down the house to kill everyone because of sin and whatever else the Bible claimed it was. But literally, Samson brought down the house and she was in it. And if she hadn't tried to bring him down, none of this crap would have happened. If she had just supported him and said, God bless, none of that stuff would have happened. Which could also be said for all these divorces. What would have happened if she just said, I support this, let's go, it's just been your ride or die? What's so wrong with just being a ride or die? Are they like, it's not demonic, it's not horrible. It's supporting someone you've stood by already, so it's not like they aren't vetted. I mean, unless you're a spy of some kind, why wouldn't you stick with the person you've already been with for the last previous years? You made the decision that someone's going to be yours. Make it your ride or die. Support them, protect them. And then women, don't tell the dudes that all of a sudden they're not protecting them anymore. And yes, dudes, to an extent, do need protection. I am not necessarily talking about physically. Dudes can usually handle their own stuff. Men are not going to expect a woman to go punch some other dude out on their behalf. No, that's not what I'm talking about. If a woman is so great, why doesn't she demand more communication so that she feels more secure in her relationship? What's a valid request? Because if she feels more secure in her relationship, she's more secure with her man, her ride or die. So that he doesn't get smacked out of next week with this sudden divorce or sudden lack of intimacy or sudden whatever. And because he's a dude, he's just going along, just going along to keep everyone happy, and then smack. His whole world gets ripped apart with child support and alimony. If she had just found a way to get his attention in a he can't avoid it kind of way, do you know how much pain and suffering could have been avoided? As they always say, it takes two to tango. If both of you are not on the same page, you're asking for destruction. But then we also live in a society where nobody's looking or trying to be on the same page anymore. You have to support each other because the only thing left is if the devil's going to support you, that's just a way of destruction. You're asking to be corrupted. You're asking to bring in a third opinion that doesn't need to be there. Even though the government can't wait to be that third opinion to tell you how to live. It is what it is, y'all. If you hear that moaning in the background, that's the cat thinking he deserves to go outside. It's his self-entitlement. Yes, I raised him that way. But it's a cat. He thinks he's entitled to everything anyway. But I digress. And so today I was wandering around the internet and stuff, and I was truly trying to break down more ways that a woman really does either protect herself, her family, things she cares about in general. Or people always say, there's no evidence of it. Oh, there's evidence of when a woman decides to protect something. Oh, yes. There is. You just have to learn how to identify it. Or the most culturally appropriate description that I was able to find. See if I can't pull it up. On Twitter, that wasn't it. Here we go. On Twitter, I made a clipping. I think I'm not doing this right. If you watch, there's that point in Game of Thrones where the grandma admitted that she killed Joffrey. Like she poisoned this horrible person to save her family. What person do you know of nowadays where any grandma would poison anybody to save the future of just her family? Even though if you kill the king, you might also be helping a country as well. How many grandmas do you know who would poison? Here we go, I think. All right. How many grandmas do you know of who would poison the king to save a grandchild? Now, I don't say I'm not suggesting we go around poisoning people, but there are ways it happens. Why are just either men aren't acknowledging what women can do when they're not looking, which is a lot, or it's about showing each other respect, that considering that each side is equally capable and acknowledging it completely. And the other part is people don't discuss is that men think that they're sneaky. Men think that they're really sneaky when they got nothing on a woman. When a woman wants to be sneaky, yeah, I'm pretty sure the CIA was built on theories of observing women. I mean, the only parts that the men might have contributed were like to technology. Men figured out how to make all the cool gadgets, while all the sneaky true spy stuff, where these are not the droids you're looking for type of sneaky, that was all women. That had to have been all women. Or one of the last ones I saw, a lady, she's like in her 60s or 70s, she retired. She wrote a book on how she was part of this department that made prosthetics, like fake parts that make you look like somebody else. And when they exposed it at the time, it was for George Bush Jr. and he was in office. A guy came out looking exactly like him with one of their very soft rubber plastic prosthetic face masks on, and it moved just like a real human's face and everything would. That was a woman being a part of that, artistically telling them, okay, here's how you can look more like the president. So if they need a Manchurian candidate, that's why whenever the conspiracy goes around that I think Biden might be a double fake, that's why a woman helped create something that could potentially be a double fake to the American people. Now, I know my family loves all their conspiracy theories, but the fact that it's possible and there's document, if you read enough, there is documented proof. Just because you haven't found the proof yet doesn't mean it's not there. And so many things that women do, just because you didn't find the proof yet doesn't mean it's not there. There's proof everywhere. Really, truly, madly, deeply. If you know where to look. Because we will not tell you where the droids really are. But yeah, go watch that scene again. Was it Leorna? And the old lady admits, she's like, I'll do anything to save my family. Because I know it's for my family, I'll never lose a drop of sleep over it. And then she went into how was it Xerxes? That was her name, wasn't Xerxes. Is it Circe? I think it was Circe. How she used creativity to do such horrible things that even she could never dream of. And the only thing she was missing was creativity. Women are drowning in creativity. And the madder we get, the more creative we get. That's why I always say that craft supplies are secretly weapons and men are just too dumb to see it. Let's see, we have some of those big ones. Like, for example, tell me that these cannot be used as a garrote. You know how easy these are to wrap around a neck? They're just circular knitting needles, but wrap that baby. Just saying, man, you don't see stuff. I think it's great that you're sweet and innocent and you're that trusting. Don't be. I have 5 sisters. You know how, like, my father isn't paranoid. He's not paranoid, but you know when he gets that look in his eye, he's like, "Do I need to be cagey about this now?" It's like, "What's really going on? Am I being taken for a ride?" You know, that eyebrow thing goes up. It's like, "What's really going on? Where's this really going? Do I need to bring a gun wherever I'm going to end up at?" But as long as we cook and clean, he's happy. Or even found this poem. If you want some free literature, there's this thing called Project Gutenberg. It's ebooks. These are all books that are over 75 years old, so they're not exactly new, but they're free. And then there's Project, was it LibVox? They're in cahoots with Gutenberg. Okay, I'm not answering that. But I was trying to find something funny to read because I really wanted to get into helping them do voiceovers for free because they want to have the biggest free um audiobook library in the world. So Project Gutenberg, Project LibVox, I think it was called. And I was going through, I found an old funny book. And I found this poem just in a general book. It's called 3 Periods of Love. And it goes, sighing like a furnace over ears in love, blind in adoration of his lady's glove. A dude really likes a girl, basically. Thinks no girl was ever quite so sweet. She tells you she's an angel, expects you to agree. Now, this book is like from 1920s or older. So the girl already expects the boy to believe whatever she tells him, no matter what. Moping and repining, glooming and morose, asks the price of poison, thinks he'll take a dose. She's got him so bound up he wants to kill himself with poison, while moping and being gloomy and repining. Women are so fickle. Love is all a sham. Marriage is a failure, like a broken dam. You know how old this book was? Whistling, blithe and cheerful, always bright and gay, dancing, singing, laughing all the livelong day. Something's changed. Full of fun and frolic, caught in fashion's whirl, thinks no more of poison, got another girl. If that doesn't sum it up, I don't know what does. It's just all about getting that next girl, just getting that next girl. Wake up, dudes, wake up. Right the other day, because I sometimes do rideshare, I picked up this dude who's going to go meet some girl he'd never laid eyes on, and they might hook up later. Who knows? But fill in the blank. They're both of them were equally a little bit too excited. And while they're having this conversation through the phone in my back seat, all of a sudden I hear the music from, it's a theme song from that old movie, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. And it's just the instrumental part. But the theme song to this movie is called Bless Your Beautiful Hide. Yeah, the dude in the back was trying to go bless the hide of this girl. Some things have not changed. That movie was filmed in the 60s. This poem is probably from the early 1900s. Dudes, wake up. I mean, she'll have you from believing whatever she says to wanting to poison yourself. Who cares? You have a new one. There's a lot of hide out there. Don't believe everything you hear. But find someone that wants to protect you as much as you protect them. It's a two-way street. It takes two to tango. If she's not willing to be your ride or die and use her womanly wiles to keep you happy and keep everyone else away from the good thing y'all got going, why bother? Like when a woman has kids, she will fight for those kids no matter how dumb or stupid or whatever those children are. She will fight to the death for these kids. Why isn't she doing the same thing for her entire family? Why are men excluded from the word family? Why don't they fight for a healthy relationship as much as they fight for their kids in any capacity? And that's truly what it's about. I mean, men protect the home, income, whatever, but why destroy it by getting rid of? I mean, men are known as being fighters. Why would a woman want to get rid of a fighter? Or maybe, I don't know, maybe she's bored and she likes fighting. Get her some karate classes. I don't know. But you hearing me on what to look for. Like when I met my husband, he just wanted to be seen as the good guy who could beat somebody up but chose not to. He just wanted to be seen as a man and not to have another confrontational woman in his life who he'd have to leave behind. No, he wanted someone to work with, not work against. So for all the women out there who think they're always right or know they're always right or like whatever, you're nothing, because whenever they use the word whatever, that means you're a piece of shit and they're God and you didn't kiss their feet enough. And then they'll dance all over you like you're nothing more than, a doormat, and they're going to go pull out their football cleats and then dance all over you after they walk through the fields of manure. So you know what it's really like. Then they'll blame it on something like, now you know what it's like to be a woman, because that happens to me all the time. No, it doesn't. Women are chameleons. They will survive through anything. They will become whatever they have to, just long as they don't die. That could be related to how men are supposed to die to save the family, or men are supposed to die to protect women and children. And then women are supposed to be the survivors to help keep on the children if the man is no longer available due to death. Makes somewhat sense, but unless she's ride or die, go to a country that will have the type of girl who will use her female wiles to protect the entire family, not the parts that haven't pissed her off today. That's just the truth of it. You want the grandma who's willing to poison the communist dictator to protect the family. And if they're not willing to protect the family, don't make a family with them. Tell them straight to their faces. Here's all the ways you are insufficient and insignificant. And I used to do the same thing to my sisters. But for them, it's clearly obvious different reasons. Men, it's because you want a relationship. You want that equality somewhat. You want the truth to be a basis for what you build on. And when a girl's being like a girl, you don't need that bullshit. That's when you just look them square in the eye and say, you are insufficient, you are insignificant, and that is not my problem. And if you don't fix it, I'm still leaving. But if you do fix it, you might get a reprieve, but unless it's truly, truly fixed and you're not trying to pull some kind of wool over my eyes, bye, Felicia. That's what needs to happen. No maybe about it. So, God bless your beautiful hides. Samson did exist, and he got taken down by a woman because she was pretty, and he was dumb enough to kind of trust her, sort of. And then he had to bring down the house to take out the evil. That shouldn't be the way it is. If you have any comments below, please leave as many as you want. I check all the stats regularly. And if you're gonna be like whoever this person is who left the only comment about chat bots or whatever else, I'll just delete them. Say something meaningful about the content. If it's not meaningful and relative, bye, Felicia. Have a good one, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, tell everybody.